In this exercise, we're going to use SAP Predictive Analysis to manipulate and create some new variables. I am using the DMEF7 Baker Modified dataset again. In this case, we've already imported the data into SAP Predictive Analysis. We've taken the attributes, used the automatic enrichment tool down here to create some automatic measures and hierarchies. What we're going to do is we're going to illustrate the ability of SAP Predictive Analysis to help us make groupings of variables into a new one. You'll see here on the right hand side, it's probably closed for you. There's a pane that says Manipulation Tools. Let's open this up. And we will select the particular variable that we'd like to work with. In this case, let's use the number of appeals variable. Right now, the number of appeals, it ranges anywhere from 1 for a particular customer in a particular year up to 80 appeals in a particular year. We're going to group these into 3 bins, sort of high, low, and medium, admittedly a bit arbitrary at the time. So we're going to select here, we have a lot of options. We're going to go to the grouping option and show it. And what we see here is we have all of our original values in the original variable, ranging from, in fact, 1 up to 80. And what we're going to do here is we're going to make a new group. We'll call this low appeal, or how about few appeals. And we will select the values of 1 or 2 and add that to our group. I'm doing this arbitrarily. We could select 7 as another one if we wanted to. We'll call this next one moderate appeals. And we will go anywhere from 7 to 10. Add these. We'll finally add one more group, and we'll call these many appeals. Anyone who received 11 or more appeals in the same year, we'll call it the many group. Once we've created this, set up our settings here, we can go ahead and click OK. In fact, we have created our new group here from many appeals to few appeals. So that's one way we can use the grouping variable. Now, let's also create a new formula. Notice that when we have selected the manipulation tools over here and then have hovered over a particular variable, we see a formula bar has opened up. Similar to Excel or other software you may have used where you can type in particular formulas that compute, we can do the similar thing here. I do want to draw your attention that there are a bunch of built-in functions for preparing your data that SAP Predictive Analysis has built automatically into it. At this time, we're not going to be using these, but do keep in mind these may be useful for modifying your data. What I'd like to do is I would like to create a new variable that takes the number of donations that somebody made and divides it by the number of appeals someone made. So in other words, we know the percentage of responses to the percentage of total responses to appeals that a particular respondent will have in a given particular year. So my formula would simply be number of donations divided by number of appeals. So I go up to my formula, I start typing in number, and because I have a variable called number, I have 2 variables called number of appeals and donations, it guesses I may want to use those. So my numerator would be number of donations divided by number of appeals. And I can go ahead and click do it. A new variable is made. And this now gives me the actual response rate for that person in a particular year for their to a nonprofit appeal. And we see that we have a lot of 0% responses, and we have a good number of 1s. And we can go ahead and click on the facets tool to see this a little more clearly.